cannot really analyze or understand this book.
The reason I asked was probably Kerala is very different from the rest of the country, what you would have been seeing the last two elections. Whatever said and done, it always ends up with the two parties. So it probably has a different...
All these three states are very different. West Bengal is very different because in West Bengal in last 70 years you have only had two governments. Kerala is different because it's of its own uniqueness, and now Telangana is also very different. And that is why he says that we need to break whatever challenges are there in the state. We need to crack, as they say. I think that's the terminology. You need to crack these three states. I should not be answering to that.
Are you bringing in a Malayalam issue?
Yes. This morning I had a very interesting meeting with Sri Rangahari ji, because every time I come I make it a point to meet him, and we had a very interesting discussion about the book. He has insisted that there should be a Malayalam edition, and Dr. Biju has promised to help us, so I am sure very soon we'll have a Malayalam.
So, no more questions?
My name is Advocate Parameswaran from Kottayam. I could not read your book, I did not get time, but I would like to know that there was a time from the riot.
He said that that was a period of Swadhyaya, when I engaged in intense study and self-study. It was a period of deep reflection, and it was a period when I fought my own battles. And since very respected retired justice is here, I want to say, and we have mentioned in the book, and I want to tell all of you, please keep it in mind and remember this, that both Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah ji underwent, without any complaint, without any challenge, underwent the judicial process and the investigative process. Never once did they complain about it. Never once did they say, as they say in Hindi, "Jante nahi ho, main kaun hoon." Never once did they remind us who they were. 6 hours of interrogation of Narendra Modi ji, imprisonment of Amit Shah ji. Never once did they even cast aspersions on the CBI. Never once they cast aspersion on the judiciary. And we know of one chief minister, just because some CBI officers landed up in West Bengal to question her officer, she sat on a dharna. So this was the basic difference. Not once did he complain, not once did he expect anyone to fight the battle for him. So that was a period, and it was also a period when he travelled extensively across the country. He went deep into the districts. He spent nights in mathas. He met socio-religious leaders. He contacted grassroots workers. So this was a very enriching period for him. And so that is why, as we say it in the book, the result of the political conspiracy to send him into political advice turned him into a national leader. And as Muralidharan ji very rightly quoted from this book, late Arun Jaitley ji used to say this: long before we recognized the capacities of Amit Shah, our political opponents had already recognized him.
So one question to you. You have studied the